G'day and welcome to this very special commentary track for the Hawk Talk podcast. Round 22, 2014. It's Hawthorn versus Geelong at the MCG. G'day, Tizz.
G'day, mate. Liam Shields was the first takeaway. Not bad.
Not too bad at all. And look at this. How about Puopolo? There's still life in those legs at that point. Although he's not doing too badly these days either.
Well, Liam Shields hasn't even hit 100 games yet. So that's...
Is that right? Jeez.
Yeah, I think he's on 98. Well, this is his 98th game. So some big jobs in the midfield for the boys. This was a massive game back then. Both teams looking for a top four position. Geelong enter this round after we lost in the previous round. They're second, we're in third. We, of course, lost to Freo on the Sunday over there, and Geelong won by a kick, solitary 6 points against Carlton on the Friday night. So not only do they have the wood over us in the long-term history, but they also got a longer break than we did coming into the game.
That sounds about right.
They seem to get a lot of breaks with the umpires this match as well, I seem to recall.
All right, so listeners, or viewers rather, can keep an eye out for that. Shields in it again, Stratton there. And, here we go. Here comes Lake.
Ooh, geez, he nearly sat on Gibbo's head there. But this is a big game for Lakey. He hasn't played much this year. And people are wondering whether it's beyond him. He didn't do too well the week before against Freo, and we didn't have Roughhead that game either after he got suspended during our 50-point win over Melbourne. He got one match. So Geelong are... Oh, that's good from Gibbo. But Geelong are on a winning streak of 7 in a row. And Hawthorn have just lost their previous match. So big stakes.
Who's out this match? We were talking off mic, and you said that Clarko swung the axe. Who's missing from this Hawthorn side?
So McAvoy, Shuey, Duray, and O'Brien were all got the axe at the end of the game against Freo, and they were replaced by Sewell. Roughhead came back in off his suspension. Spanger came in, and Segler came in for McAvoy. So he's trying something up forward. He's definitely got Hodgie and Spanger up forward to look at that from Lake, just making sure that he keeps Hawkins honest. But, Spanger's up forward in a defensive role, and Hodgie's making sure that they just can't get the easy marks on the half-back line, and control the game. That's exactly what we're trying to avoid. It's their game plan. They have that arrogance to how they control the ball. Better go back here, Mitch. Yeah.
Now, astute and more discerning viewers might note that we're without Cyril Rioli. He wouldn't be back for a while yet. It's a shame not to have the excitement machine out there for such a crucial clash, but we all know what he ended up doing in the 2014 Grand Finals, so it was all worth it in the end.
He's sitting at home doing Jedi mind tricks. Remember that? They taught him how he should be running. Oh, look at that for a pass. Beautiful.
It's just
they taught him how he should be
service
running.
from Brad Hill.
Yeah. They showed him how he should be running, trying to change his technique without actually letting Cyril run. And then he came back into the side, the VFL side, and was told, only run at 70%, which is hard if you're a professional athlete and you've got someone on your hammer. You've got to still only conserve yourself. But as we know, he does it.
I somewhat suspect that Cyril might have been handed a guide on Kurt Tippett as well. Someone from the club just goes, you might need this. Who knows when we're going to face Sydney again, but just have a little bit of a gander at this textbook and see how you can make Kurt Tippett look like a fool. And boy, didn't he just study.
Well, I tell you what, he does forecast a lot of the things he's going to do, old Tippo.
Not to Adelaide, though.
No. This is true. Ooh. So Sully's back in. And, of course, he makes way during the final series. If you recall, the last... just before the grand final, Lewis gets a really bad corky and Sewell is on call if he's needed. So he's
Yeah.
pulled out of the VFL side. They end up losing that premiership with the Box Hill Hawks. But that was his last game. Oh, it's quite intense out there, but you'd imagine a lot of the boys are thinking we're playing finals anyway, so, Oh, that's a lovely intercept from Louis, isn't it?
Yeah, you wouldn't blame the players for having that mindset, but, as you've noted, we're seeing it at the moment. I think it continues for most of the match. Well, I can say that for Hawthorn. We know what happens to Geelong. But I think the intensity keeps up, in spite of the context they find themselves in. Because you're right, they're playing for positions in the top four. They're just teams shuffling around, basically. If you're
I
going to let a
remember
game
watching this
go,
game being terribly frustrated at our forward attempts. I mean, there's absolutely no direction on that forward kick, but you see roughheads behind the ball already. I always felt when I left this game that Hawthorn had just been playing a rope-a-dope game. They're just waiting for Geelong to slow, and that's borne out by a lot of the stats. Look at that awful kick from Suckers there. I'll let you talk about the umpiring there, Nick.
well, I can see Gunston can't believe it. He's absolutely appalled at that decision. He probably didn't need to put the hands in the back, but umpiring is going to become a theme of this match, even by the end of this quarter, I believe. Or it was that next quarter when Geelong get their run on. Anyway, keep an eye on it because it gets absolutely atrocious.
There's less than 30 frees for the match, actually. It's quite... And it's not all that biased, but it's just where Geelong get them. And they get them in succession as well. It's quite infuriating.
As
There's a
always,
couple of cameos from the Hawks fans in the stands.
As always, Tizz, it can be quality over quantity.
Oh, look at that from Birch, eh? The pressure.
Yeah. It streams
unfortunately,
in.
he misses it.
It would be textbook normally for Birch, but he can't finish there. Lack of polish on the kick, and we reset. So a bit of a slow start to the game. It's 6 minutes in, and not many legitimate scoring opportunities. That was one. Geordie's kick was tough, obviously, but pretty slow going.
Kickable by Jordan standards, though, and he's having a terrific year. Anyway, what I was talking about with Clarko, just doing this rope-a-dope, that's a free to... Anyway, yeah, I'm finding it hard to not comment on the actual proceedings, but Geelong have some ugly stats. So they win the first quarter 17 out of the 20 run rounds to date coming into this game, and then they win the second quarter 14 of those, so that's 2/3 of the time. But then the third is only the third quarter they only win it 7 times in this up to here. So you can see that Hawthorn knew they were going to fade. They're not exactly the fittest team going around. There is some... I mean, Stevie J's not out there, but McIntosh is getting older.
Is it
Doesn't
an
have
issue
a lot more
of...
in his legs.
Is it an issue of fitness or arrogance, Tiz? Because
they do have that arrogant way of playing, don't they?
Well, they have that arrogant coach, don't they?
They never seem to change their approach, which is fascinating because that's exactly what Hawthorn set to do from the outset. They are playing a defensive model, and you'll notice it's only with the highest of skill levels do we manage to get through Geelong's defence in this first half. We really find it difficult to score. Look at that. That's not the best Segler makes. Now, see that? That's what happens when you have Segler up forward, because he should have got a free kick there, but he didn't make it obvious enough to the umpire. A true forward would have done so.
You got to play the game, is what you're saying.
But there are some errant kicks here, aren't there?
Yeah, for sure. And that's,
look at that handball from Spanger. Oof. And how is this a goal? No, look at Healy. Well played.
Geelong do well to put the clamps on. Like they're, apart from Sean Burgoyne here, I think that's a pretty good kick.
Oh no, they're a good side.
Yeah,
they're a good side.
Good defensive.
That's what makes the rivalry good. Well played, Gunners. That's looking young there, isn't he?
can hear the commentary just discussing our forward setup. There you go, putting Spanker on screen.
Oh, how's that not a free? Oh, good. Yeah. Mitchell found it tough this game.
Bartel looking on like, what? Yeah, you keep on doing that, mate.
Yeah. I used to hate Mackie. He's just too good. Oh, look at that. Where were you for this game, Nick?
I would have been in M10, as always, which is this end, the punt road ends, the opposite side of the 50. So around about where the paint meets the boundary, that's around where M10 is. And by that, I mean standing room, for anyone who didn't catch my meaning there. Always in standing room with the Hawk headquarters faithful.
Caddy plays very well in this game on the inside. Oh, grab him. Christensen. Now at Brisbane. Oh,
decent vision, that. That's a good kick.
And that bloody Murdoch, who kicked that extraordinary goal after that hour on the full in the prelim. Anyway, I think he goes back and kicks it.
Yeah, I think this is the first goal of the game.
So you can see Clarko's really robbed us of forward targets here. And we're just hurrying our entries. Langford on the mark.
So we've got 9 minutes, and that's our first goal. And it's a bit of an arm wrestle. That'll open up. But right now, it's this first quarter is a bit of a war.
Something they can really worry the Hawks with tonight.
So Bartel's back in for this game. He's had a bit of time off. Looking a little bit slow in the reaction time. And he has a very famous moment later in this game.
Yeah,
at risk of defining his career.
Well, we'll talk about it more when it happens, but the particular moment, a very dubious free kick, and one that he made light of.
Oh, did you see the kick by Hodgie then?
I did indeed. It's a moment that Bartel made light of in the club's Mad Monday for this particular year. He rocked up with, I think, a scuba mask and everything, which that's not... I mean, he's trying to imply that he's a diver, I guess, but, you know, I don't care how much he laughs about it. Still pisses me off. To this day, I don't forgive him for that.
How long will it take, Nick?
I don't think there's anything he could do. Am I being too harsh? It is ridiculous. Like, when we get to the moment, we'll talk about it more, but it is absolutely absurd.
It's absolutely awful, yeah. Oh, look, Mitchell got a free for holding.
I think the thing that annoys me about the Mad Monday thing, it's not an apology.
I thought it was good. He took it in good grace. He's not going to apologise.
No, of course he's not going to apologise.
All players have done that in the past. It's just that it's so blatantly obvious. And then, funnily enough, Dangerfield does it a few years later against Richmond. So it's definitely part of their match conditioning.
I guess what I'm saying is it doesn't amuse me that he strolls into Mad Monday with all that garb. It's more... I think he's almost doubling down. Like, he's a cheeky little kid that knows what he did, and he's taking the piss again. Nah, not having it.
What do you reckon Clarko's going on about there?
I wouldn't know, mate. But I mean, it's early stages. Is he that worried at this point?
Oh, I'd be worried with that. Look how far Lakey was off Hawkins there.
Yeah, they've got a few streaming forward here. It's not ideal. God, I miss Gibbo. And I've said it before on the podcast, I do believe that our defensive personnel, that's our strongest bunch on the ground. And yet I still miss Gibbo. I think he's fantastic.
Well, that's how you win premierships, isn't it? The defenders are the ones that make it for you.
Something
Or
we were just
Ruffy.
talking about on our most recent podcast, the 1989 podcast with
Yeah,
Tony Wilson.
Tony Wilson was quoting Blighty there.
This idea that you need that one great defender. Well, you just need a good defensive cohort, and that's something that in that game Geelong lacked. They had all the firepower. They demonstrated throughout that 1989 season that they had the firepower to blow sides away. They even tried to do it to us in round 6, but to no avail. But they couldn't get the job done because they just lacked that final piece of the puzzle.
Beautiful play by Duncan there. Oh, he's throwing himself at everything, Lakey, isn't he? He doesn't like the pressure on his spot. Just flexing his muscles, showing how good he is.
He's quite keen. He's up for the fight.
Sully's back in. He wants to do his best. That's a shocker.
That's the kind of thing that, we won't see it for a couple of years yet, but that kind of disposal is what you'd see from Will Langford.
Oh, do you mind?
No, come on, that's fair. Mate, there's a few...
This is the game not only known as the Mission Accomplished game, but the Will Langford ascends.
His ascendancy does begin tonight. Yeah, that's right. It is a famous run towards a few famous grand final moments. So I really shouldn't be paying out on him. That's the last person I should be paying out on.
Look,
I'm not saying it's just him. Just Sewell reminded me of it. They've got a few players in this current day side, the current day Hawthorn outfit, that are guilty of that too.
Yeah. So we've got so many men behind the ball here. How's Segler's pass there? So you can see there's just so much space available for the Cats. We're just chasing tail. We're not really being punished early.
No, it just feels like Hawthorn's holding on a bit. Just trying to absorb as many punches as they need to, but without really throwing any themselves.
Hawkins nearly let an errant elbow go through Selwood there. That's how unfortunate that didn't connect.
I think he does kick this from memory. Yeah, there you go. As you'd expect him to.
Part of me wonders whether Hawthorn did this as we're going to defend. We had that defence press, remember? And that's how we try to stop momentum. And Clarko used to invoke it whenever he really felt like it. And I wonder whether Hawthorn decided, having come off the Perth trip and with 2 days left to recover, they would leave all their gas for the second half, because that's the choice you have. Do you try and start really well, get out to a lead, or do you try to make it like running through molasses for your opponents and then try to get back in the game later?
So you reckon just get the lay of the land and then work out what to do in the second half?
Yeah, and you can see that a few of the matchups are definitely working for the Cats. We haven't seen Mitchell dominate too much in the middle. Caddy seems to be doing well. There's Hilly.
It's very creative from Hill.
Still only 22. Ooh, well done, Brucey.
Did you have any suspicion that Hill would become such a commodity at this point? I mean, I thought he was good.
Well, he's still under 50 games. This is his 48th game. He's dreaming of 750k at St Kilda at this point.
At this stage, I mean, obviously this being our three-peat era, not that we knew it quite at the time, didn't think we'd go again twice, but I wasn't quite convinced he'd be one of the highest draw cards of a trade period. I knew Hill was good, but not quite that good. He's become quite a player.
They always seem to have a man available, don't they? Oh, good tackle.
That is excellent from Silk.
Sully. Just a bit of panic there.
Now, are you inclined to pay that deliberate?
No, not at this stage of the AFL competition.
I
We've
guess
only
that was
won
my
one.
question.
We've only won one at this stage, Nick. So it's when we win 3 in a row, they decide to call those against us.
Yeah, we can't go changing things too wildly just yet.
McIntosh has to be Geelong's best ruckman for a long time, doesn't he?
I think so, yeah. What about in modern day AFL?
Ooh, what's Hawkins doing to the crowd there?
Oh, he has a go at the crowd in the second quarter. Do you remember that?
What is wrong with that man?
The wry smile, cheeky bastard. In modern day AFL, that kick before, would you have paid that deliberate? Because I'd be inclined to say that is going to be called deliberate in these days.
Well, he certainly had no target. Oh, there's the Box Hill boys. I mean, the boys that are trying to get in the final side. Box Hill had, I think they beaten the Northern Blues by about 50 points earlier in the day, so they were all smiles.
And that would also be deliberate, I dare say. Pictured in that group of Hawthorn players, future Collingwood runner Alex Woodward, one of the most unluckiest people in the history of the AFL.
Yeah, especially in the way that he caught that ball in the as the runner. Remember that?
Yep, no, that's part of his legacy, unfortunately. I do not bring it up to have a go at him at all. I think it's...
He was a great clubman. And,
he was. I think he was a decent player too. It's just luck was never on his side.
Sincerely unlucky. Geez, Hodge has done a few strange things below his knees. Well played by Langers. He's one out in defence.
Sloppy from Birch.
Oh.
Now Langer's already starting to do a few good things.
Out on the full from Birch.
Yeah,
that's all right. It's Motlop.
Oh, I think you might be speaking a little bit too early here. Motlop is liking the look of this.
They can't like it too much, don't they? Don't they get rid of him at the end of this year?
Look, I mean, look at this kick. You do have to tip your hat, don't you? That's a decent kick.
I wonder I'd forgotten it.
Note especially how he turns to the crowd and he loves himself a little bit in that moment, Motlop. I wonder if that's going to come back to bite him.
I didn't hate Motlop. I just thought he wasn't well used at Geelong. And he's a little bit lazy, but a hell of a talent.
Offensively, he's something special, but I'd agree with your assessment. I think defensively he's a bit lazy. And that's why he's just okay for mine. Exciting on his day, but...
How come they aren't showing us the box now? Was that directed at Hawthorn people? I think that was just celebrating with the Cats fans.
Look, he just the little celebration. He loves it, doesn't he? He wanted
Bring
to
that
milk
back,
it for all it was
That's
worth.
atrocious. Is that Brett Roseberry? Yeah, have a word to Selwood. Tell him when he's going to get his next free kick. That's right.
Now, here's a bit of an intriguing question for you.
Paddy.
Here's a question for you that comes out of left field. Is there an umpire that you like?
No.
I only bring that up because spending many years in M10, standing with the same Hawthorn faithful, I know there are plenty of people who aren't fans of Roseberry.
He's got a very recognisable physique, doesn't he? Doesn't help as an umpire. Ooh, that's in the back. Yeah. So we almost have no continuous attacking flair at all. It's quite a strange ask from Clarko for the boys, but I guess they know what they're doing.
No, nothing convincing about Hawthorn at the moment. Like I said, just holding on, absorbing what they can.
There's Varco.
And even
Giving
here,
it back to Taylor.
We're just chasing the footy and not really doing anything.
Look at where all the numbers are. There they are. Get across to that. Well done, Strats. Ooh, stayed in a bit. What is going on?
That would have been a fair goal if it had come off. And wouldn't have spoken too well of the Hawks players around that ball because they stopped. All right, 3 minutes 23 left. What can we mount? Because it's not been a good quarter at all.
So, What's he going to do? So we've been locked down by this Geelong defence here. They're just giving us space at the 50, and then they squash up all our options as we go up the wing. You can see Sammy pointing out to go left. Sucker's asking where the hell was that option. I can't even see it. And then we decide to do a bit of Geelong and try to work through their defence with handballs. It seems to be working, but there's a lot of pressure on the ball carrier. Look at that. There's 4-on-1 there. Good kick from Strats to bring it forward. And easily intercepted and it coming straight back.
Yeah, Hawthorn's
That's
still
Jared
fighting it.
Rivers.
Jared Rivers, jeez.
Remember him? Oh, look. So much space for them now.
Yeah, they have us on toast here. It'll take a very special effort. And here it
Here's
is.
Lakey. Oh, lovely.
So he wins
Come
the
on,
footy.
that's holding it. Oh, that's
There's
brilliant.
no free kick there. Well, not that I can hear in my earphones, but
Now we should be out, right?
yes,
We're
we
on the
are
fat
out.
side now. Yeah.
That was an incredibly important win for Lake.
Beautiful kick from Hilly. Keep going, Rough. Oh. Go over the top.
And the umpire's
Yay.
calling it back.
Why? Oh, because it's Brett Roseberry. That's why.
And we've established a theme quite early here in this call. Look at this. Okay, so Lake brings him to ground. Good takedown of Selwood,
Surprised,
but very important to pinch the footy as well and get the ball moving as quickly as possible down the other end for that slingshot rebound play to get it to Rough, who will have a second
How's his
crack at it
kicking?
here.
Finishes second in the Coleman this year.
Mhm.
Got one in the cabinet off 2013. Lovely kick. Lovely kick from Rough.
So it makes the scoreline a little bit more respectable than perhaps it ought to be, with 1 minute 45 left and Geelong having all the answers and all the play and the control. All it takes is it's one little moment to bring it slightly
Yeah, what do you think of Hodgie forward in this game? I don't think he's enjoying it too much, to be honest.
No, he's not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it. I don't know who's enjoying it. Maybe the Geelong fans are enjoying it.
We're not even playing Poppy over the back, really. It's quite odd. But you got to remember they won 2013. 2012 is really sitting in their mind when they couldn't run any harder. Really, that's why they say they lost the 2012 grand final. So they're desperate to try and hit the finals with their fitness intact. And you'll notice that there's not a lot of running going on by a few of the older Hawthorn players here. To position, I mean, and to space. You just find Hilly and Smith are the ones. Look at that.
That's trademark Rough. That's what he does. He doesn't need much of a look to put it on the boot. Trademark snap. I mean, right up until his final game at Marvel Stadium, Tizz, we were seeing goals like that.
Yeah, well, you don't see a lot of Hawthorn kicking goals from stoppages, but that is a perfect goal there.
He's just lethal when he slams it onto his boot like that and gets the snap away. So many times in his career that just goes sailing straight through. It's a beautiful thing.
Now we're seeing Spanger again on screen there in the forward role. Of course, that is assumed by Shuey, who was dropped for this game later on. But Spanger retains his position and plays in the back half.
Just caught Mitchell mouthing something. I'd love to know what he said there. Whether it was a direct call to go for home or what was it? He looked angry.
Come on, suckers.
So Hawthorn with a bit more time and
This
space
looks much
now.
better, doesn't it? Yeah. Are they
Willingness
starting to tire, or is Hawthorn... Yeah, that's good. They're going the handball a bit more, breaking up their defence. Ooh.
The intensity's lifted, even right here. What we're seeing right here is this willingness to just keep on attack.
This is a terrible call. I remember that one. They called holding the ball against Sewell there.
Yeah, there's the shot of the crowd who are responding in kind, and fair enough.
Because we've caught Geelong that many times and they never pay it. I didn't even pay the one where Lakey took Selwood down and he just hatched it. Good thing he stripped him of it.
Exactly. That's exactly the point I was trying to make before. Is it's almost a blessing in disguise. It wasn't paid, because just by pinching the footy, we were just away all of a sudden.
Look how many more Geelong players around that ball, that contest there. Oh, yeah, he's taken on too much.
Yep, and guess who? Guess who? Loves himself and still cleans him back down to earth.
We're going to get done by the clock here. There's Spang. Now, that's
every
very
time
similar to another moment that happens in about a month.
That's exactly where I was going with that, Tizz. What is it? Every time Spanger gets near the footy and he's got a chance at goal, the buzzer goes, does it? That's an unfair trend.
I don't think Spang can have a go at the gods of football, to be honest.
So we're back into it for the second quarter, and surprisingly, Hawthorn's only within a goal now. They did well to try and square it up right at the death.
Yeah, we've got to do something about the contested possessions, though. Being beaten at the contest, and who's on Motlop?
It won't matter very soon, I assure you of that.
Kelly's pretty old in this game. I think he goes on to play at Essendon, though, after this, doesn't he?
Might be right about that.
I think he's got another year at Geelong.
Bit of panic from suckers there.
Geelong are on the cusp of making their sub.
Pretty
Shane
early.
Kirsten did a hammy.
Right, there you go. That is putrid from Mitchell.
No, he did that deliberately. Just doesn't want the ball coming back too quickly. Yeah, they did that a lot during the three-peat era. They just pump it into the ground and see if Poppy could get onto it. The other thing they used to love doing was those inside-out torps. There you go. There's the confirmation of Kirsten.
And Simkin ready to come on for us when he's required.
Oh, look at that. Bit of luck there from Lewis. Oh, terrible kick from Ruff, to be honest. There's the new bloke, Thurlow, who's just come on, number 40. And Hilly obviously didn't see Enright. Beautiful stare from Hodgie there. Just not too happy with that. So Hodge is running with Enright, trying to make sure there's no beautiful bits of play that Enright was truly capable of.
That was pretty poor then defensively from us.
Yeah, nope. Lakey's happy for Hawkins to get it up on the wing. Not a problem with that. Sort of an inside-out kick there. Oh, look at that from Will.
Yeah, very good from Will Langford. Look, that set us up.
Beautiful ball movement here. Lovely kick.
Perfectly weighted.
Yeah. What option has he got? Oh, he takes Shields. Okay, on the outside. Not the best option. So Lewis is covering a hell of a lot of ground just trying to break this Guthrie tag.
That's where you want Hawkins as well.
I got to say, this is a tough quarter to watch.
Yeah, we should probably flag that for our viewers. It's not going to be...
If you want to make a cup of tea, it's probably a good time.
Not going to be the funnest quarter of footy ever for a Hawks fan, but look, it all goes back the other way in the next half. So just stick around for that. You'll be fine. But plenty of talking points to come out of this quarter.
See if you can work out how we change momentum, because this was the talk at the time. Hawthorn didn't need to win every quarter, which seemed to be Geelong's objective, and a spoken objective during their... are we allowed to call it a dynasty if they can't even win a back-to-back? But
well,
the 3 and 5.
What's the criteria for a dynasty? Because I believe that Hawthorn said it, right? To even be in the conversation, you have to win 3 in a row.
Oh, come on. Did he pick the right option there? Yeah. Oh.
That's a good contest from
Nearly
Shields.
took it, Shields.
Almost reeled it in. So I'm not minding this at the moment. It's just everything sort of falls away as the quarter unfolds. This kind of shut down. We're putting the clamps on them here. The pressure's good when it is in dispute.
Our scoring per inside 50 is pretty damn awful right now. And that means that you start losing confidence in kicking it long, and you start to second guess your first choice, which makes it a lot harder and a lot easier for the defenders to get across to cut up the options.
So look, they were sort of caught out playing around with it there, and unfortunately, it looks like they are going to get away with it. But then again,
see, look at that.
As you saw there, it just takes one possession.
Well played. Will with a beautiful kick forward. Eee.
And that's what happens. It takes only one fumble.
How is that any different
wing.
from the other one, by the way?
I was just thinking that myself, actually. It does really only take one break in the chain on the wing there. After frustrating their ball movement, that's what happens. Yeah, you're right.
Is there anything more beautiful in football than a blonde Hawthorn midfielder kicking to a forward?
Well, it was delightful back then, and it's delightful now.
Yeah, have a look at his kicking style here. It's very nice, and he keeps it so low.
He does, yeah. It's sort of a stab at the ball. He gets the job done.
He still kicks through it. It's a lovely kick. There's about 72,000 there this night.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night in the middle of August.
And now all of a sudden the scoreline's completely even. How the hell did that happen? Not that it'll stay that way for long, but most unexpected.
Yeah, this is we're 20 points. We're 5 minutes into the second quarter. Hawthorn are averaging 110 this season coming into this match. So this is not the comfort zone for Hawthorn. You can see Sammy Mitchell playing off the top of the square there.
That's
in
right.
The forward line.
Hodge, Spanger, Ruffy, and Hale, I think, was in there as well.
Barco's and Scott knows as well that they're destined to meet in the first week of the finals. There's Caddy.
That would be the reason he said the whole mission accomplished thing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, speaking of smart asses, here we go. And look at him to the crowd. Piss off.
Oh, give it to him. Stupid little smirk from Tommy there. Who does he think he is?
Tommy Hawkins, you love it when you cop a spray over the fence. Just feeds you for a bit more action. It does. There he goes, just worked him under the footy.
From the goal square.
Look at this.
Good old Josh Jenkins.
Geez, a big boy in the back is not happy. Oh, someone's
He's
flipped
gone
in
with the wrong finger.
Well. So Tom Hawkins has made a few enemies in the crowd, and he'll probably make a few more before the night's done.
At least we haven't seen that Catman or whatever he is. He's, Hodgie lined up Varco, didn't he? Duncan's playing very well. Look at Poppy trying to put on the pressure. He's still got 3-4 around the ball. We're still watching. Punch. Well done. Gibbo. Awful handball.
Super dependable, Gibbo, isn't he?
Oh, look at that from him.
Okay, well, maybe I spoke too soon.
No, he balked one and then went for the kick, and Bartel managed to get to it. It's good play by Gibbo. He probably couldn't have got it on the boot initially, so he balked well. Segler in the ruck now against Blasavs, or whatever the stupid name is.
Blasavs. Yeah. I've got to admit, I've never been
played,
confident.
Louis.
Never been
back with the
confident
flight
with
of
that
the
name.
ball back and back with the flight of the ball in front of Hawkins. Beautiful play from Jordan. Hey, an obvious free. Not a lot of movement ahead of him, is there? Look at that. Very stagnant.
Yeah, no, nothing's happening for Hawthorn at the moment.
Makes the second half all the more incredible.
That's it. We've just got to weather this, and we'll get to the good stuff very soon. Stratton.
So how are you going with How are you going with quarantine, mate? Going pretty well? Or?
Is this what the people want? Quarantine watch at the Mason household?
I reckon we need to do this live so we can get some interaction. That's a wonderful kick from Shields. Jeez, he's kicking well tonight.
Neat little pass from Swang. I would have gone deeper than that, but... Oh, look at that from Sammy.
Oh.
Some perfectly weighted kicks on this particular evening.
Poppy hadn't been kicking too well coming into this match, but let's see if he's got it in the legs.
Can I give you a spoiler, not only for this kick, but for the rest of the night?
No.
I think I might have just then, inadvertently.
Come on, Poppy. You know, that's... I think he kicks the first goal of the 2014 grand final, doesn't he, from about that spot?
I think you're right, yep. That's right. That's what I was thinking too.
It's funny, isn't it? The pressure of that moment must have been well in excess of that one, and he completely fluffs that kick.
Surely that just ties into the notion that when you're on, you're on.
That's wonderful from Gibbo there against McIntosh, giving away a lot of side. Geez, there's a few smothers, isn't there? They're getting to the ball, Geelong. Hilly somehow has the ability to balk even when there's not a man there.
Geez, do you see much in that?
I can't believe it went to Selwood. But anyway.
I did not see where the free kick was in that.
Yeah, moving on. Come on, Selwood. Went backwards. Stokes was an interesting choice. Jeez. You can see the web enacted as we look up the ground there. All the Hawthorn players just not giving them any space, and you see the Geelong players aggregating so that if the ball hits the deck, they've got more men at the fall of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep, no, he's not getting away with that one.
It did look like a free.
Look, I'd have sooner paid that one.
He certainly carried forward with it.
I'd have paid that one. Oh, here we go. What's going to happen here? Oh, sploosh.
He didn't even watch the ball, Bartel. That's a dead set giveaway.
The compressing his body and making an arc of his entire physique is just the most absurd and ridiculous thing.
Suckling's feeling it there too.
I'll pay them the first one. It was a bit soft against Bruce, but...
What happens to Suckers there? Yeah, look, he grabs his calf. As he goes down, does he kick it, the little bastard?
Of course he does.
Diving prick. No good can come from that, Bartel. We can only put up with so much.
He knows it. Look at the wink there. Oh, he knows it.
Well, it's the beginning of the end when you're celebrating that kind of crap.
That's just infuriating, and especially because it starts a run on as well. With 10 minutes left in the quarter, 10 minutes 30, it begins an avalanche of goals. Oh, God.
Yep, we're going to fast forward this bit. God, that's just so... This is exactly what Dangerfield does against Richmond in that prelim a few years later. Yeah. And that changes the game as well. Great tackle from Ruff. Moved on to the ball, and that is huge. Is that not holding the ball, Humpy?
No, it's a free kick to Geelong. Didn't you know? This is the game we're playing now, Tizz. It's all Geelong from here.
Crowd getting involved is right. I was ropeable at about this point. What's Langford doing at the fall of the ball in the 50-metre line, in the forward 50? Oh, two-footed challenge on the ball.
Bartel almost sneaking one again.
Yeah, but that kind of stuff's outlawed in soccer. You're not allowed to do that. Oh. Second to the ball all the time, Nick. It's hard to watch.
Again, much like it was in the first quarter, Hawthorn just
here's Taylor. And so we had Langford on Motlop. Well, I can't imagine that would be, the percentage play there, Clarko. What are you doing? Oh, that's a perfect tackle.
That is, well, I mean, it's fitting for me to say it's rough. Indeed, it was rough, but the call was rough.
Yeah. See, this is one of those games that the umpires almost make it impossible to watch. Oh, that's a shame. That deserved less. Anyway,
The heat's gone up though, hasn't it, in the last 5 minutes? It has. Absolutely.
oh,
From all areas. Crowd participation.
less said about that, the better. What was Sammy looking at? I don't think.
Stokes from the standing start.
Oh, come on. Oh, jeez.
Hawkins paid the mark. Did him in a real one-on-one contest. Stokes was great there. He had time around the 50, didn't blaze away. And he's going to kick around the corner from here. Have a look at the angle he's on. No more than 45. Look at this. And he's going to kick around the corner. It's amazing the way he's going to kick this.
So we've got Hawkins directing traffic.
Yeah.
Have a look at this. This is a new thing in
This is ridiculous. Why is he going around the corner? Anyway,
I see. This is the thing, and after a few years of podcasting, you do get into this space where we end up being in sync in that way. Because I was thinking the exact same thing. Why not go for the drop punt?
because he might have missed. I would have loved it. Yeah, so Sammy Mitchell with a very uncharacteristic error. I think Gibbo wasn't even looking, to be honest. They're switched off. Do you reckon they got a rocket at halftime?
Well, according to Clarko's post-match presser, he didn't seem to give away the fact that
Look, he wasn't looking.
Gibbo wasn't ready for that. Who's at fault there? I mean, because
No,
it's
he's got to
almost
be aware all the time. He's got to be aware all the time. You got to be ready to get the ball. You can't be doing that crap.
But it almost
Especially if
seems
you've called
like it almost seems like the way Hawthorn are trying to break through Geelong's
Well, he didn't want to
press
kick
is-
long up the line.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. They wanted to move it quickly, and Mitchell knew that, and he was obeying team instructions. That's my best guess, anyway.
Jeez, Hodgie's wasted forward, isn't he? What's going on there? Another free kick to Geelong. Of course,
Lewis
he's only given away
cannot
2
believe
foot in
it.
height.
Lewis is going to kill someone.
Gibbo was good at getting up to a contest, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Shocking kick by Caddy. Oh, and it pays off to Thurlow. Jeez.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah.
that ain't going to matter, because that's just Geelong's good fortune this quarter continues. I wouldn't even say, I don't think, and this might be ridiculous to some people watching, I don't think we're playing that badly, all things considered.
But we've got nothing up the line. We've got no forwards winning at all.
No, look, I concede that we don't have any particular attacking prowess on show at this point in the game, but to be leaking goals in the way that we are, to suddenly be 25 points down, I don't think that's really deserved.
Mate, Jackson Thurlow just kicked the easiest of goals. Clarko should be walking down to the bench. This is garbage.
I've seen us play much worse in this era as well, I'm sure of it. Geelong's goals have all been gimme goals.
At any point, it just looks like there's more Geelong players on screen, and that's a terrible sign.
Yeah, can't argue with that. That's a fair enough assessment.
Look at that. They're not even that accurate, Geelong. They've got so much space. We just seem to be too slow around the contest. Sewell and Mitchell look far too slow. I wonder who he can inject to the midfield that might have a bit of pace, Nick. Is there anyone you could think of?
I think we'll wait and see how it plays out, huh?
Anyone who can break the lines and
Yeah, all right.
Force some space to be created.
Laying on it a bit thick now. And you're like, nah, it's not thick enough.
No, I'm enjoying it. Oh, that's...
Lewis, a stationary target there. That was never going to come off.
Yeah. At this point, you're sitting in the stand wondering how on earth it's all gone so wrong. Really, are we so bad as all that? Oh, that's a high tackle on Sewell. That should have been a free.
Yep, should have been. But it's
Go,
Geelong's
Ruffy.
world.
Oh, lovely high knee there. Really enjoyed that.
At this point, it's Geelong's world. We're just living in it. The umpires are doing everything they want.
Come on. Jeez. Hilly looked a bit slow then.
Yeah. There's a few moments this match where he seems to pull up a bit, but I would have loved
He's got a bit of strapping on the legs there, I noticed.
Yeah. I thought he could have kept it in there, and I would have loved for him to do that, but still more pain to come this quarter with 5 minutes remaining.
So Langford's still standing next to Motlop at this point.
No need.
Who's got the ball now, Nick? Who's that? Is that Gunston? Or
I
no, I
couldn't
think it
quite
was Lake,
see.
wasn't it? Okay, that's Birchall. I recognise the kicking action.
And now we're very much locked in here. There's it's on show again. We've got Bruce marking
Bruce
on the
got a
halfback
touch.
flank. Yeah, Bruce has finally got a touch. Just nothing
He'd be
going
frustrated. You can see how stagnant they are. This is when Hawthorn are at their most predictable and their worst. They're not even at the fall of the ball here.
And we saw it so many times. Those losing occasions against Geelong would play this game, and
there's
always
still
in
space.
In the crucial moments of those tight encounters as well, would still be forced and going long down the line and would turn it over. Oh, God, it was frustrating.
We've forced them into that long kick there, and we've put Roughhead behind the ball like he was in the first 10 minutes of the first quarter. So Clarkson's just decided that the current forward system isn't working, and we're not going to change it for the time being.
It's all about
That's a good pass.
It's all about how much you can actually limit the punishment until the halftime siren blows. The disposal count.
It's a lovely little pass, wasn't it?
It was, yep.
So Duncan basically directly in front to make it 5 Geelong goals in a row and a lead of 31 points. And he gets it.
These are not difficult shots at goal. Every look they've had, they should be nailing. And they have.
This is quite a remarkable domination this last quarter, really, for the Cats. So keep showing the possession.
Now, I believe they even get out one more goal in this quarter. So that's it. That's it for this quarter.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Still a mountain to climb. All of a sudden, the margin 5 goals. It's
well, we
out
know
of
you
nowhere.
only win 2% of the time once you're 5 goals behind.
Where'd you pull that stat from?
Oh, that used to be the stat I'd go with when I was sitting at the ground. About this time, I'd think about leaving.
You're not seriously going to leave a Hawthorn-Geelong clash?
No, you always feel like you're never out of it, don't you?
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen. It's one of the greatest shows in modern AFL, the Hawthorn-Geelong rivalry.
Oh, Langford, what was that? And Selwood decided to let him know about it after the kick too. And thus begins a nice little rivalry. So Duncan ends up getting 2 Brownlow votes out of this contest.
Is that right?
Hmm.
Do you know who gets the 3?
Yep, number 3 for
I was
us.
going to say, it better be Jordan Lewis. Oh, that's rough stuff. Couldn't have happened to a nicer bloke.
Did you get? Is it your free kick, Selwood? You better check with the. No, you didn't. No.
Oh, always worth having a word. You might as well check because you just never know.
Where's his bandage? He can't have been ducking enough. What's going on?
Trying to set the example, isn't he?
Oh,
Pins his head now, rough. We like it.
come on.
Too reactionary there.
Guthrie.
They're not going to pay that, are they? No.
No way.
even though he called for it. Hawks players are getting a little bit desperate now. So Ruffy's already been suspended after the Melbourne game, and he's really been very physical again. Is that a Falcon to Hodgie there?
I think it might have been, yeah.
Hey. Apparently the only bloke in our team that can get frees is Mitchell.
Wanted to get involved with some physical action.
He doesn't have his Brownlow yet, does he? It's still...
Zach Smith
No,
gives it.
all that's up in the
Yeah.
air.
Stratton's on if he wants, but that kick
Oh,
was too high.
guess who that's a free to? Nick?
Stratton
Guess
It's
he
got to
got
be
that one.
Geelong, surely.
No.
No!
Incredible.
That is incredible.
Birchall.
really wide.
So it was Spanger put him at his feet. Good idea.
It's a half time.
Sometimes I do wonder whether they look at who they're kicking to sometimes. Is that...
31-point leaders.
Oh, come on.
Kicked the last 5 in this quarter.
Hales not been great around the ground. That's good by Langford, isn't it? Good attack on the ball, out to Hodge. Who's there?
Lewis to Hodge.
Oh,
Got a good sit here. Can Spanger keep it alive? And he does. Goes back looking for
The thing about Hale is, no, he hasn't been one of the stars for Hawthorn so far, but that'll very
ooh,
quickly
great
change.
tackle.
Shields got him in the tackle.
You watch in the second
Come
half as
on.
Hale stands tall, pun fully intended.
That was a fantastic tackle from Liam Shields, unrewarded.
There's John Longmire and he's got his entire Sydney Swans coaching staff around him tonight. They're in town. They play the Bulldogs tomorrow, and as we said, the whole footy world watching this game. We're going to chat to John Longmire.
So what are you thinking at this point, Nick? Oh, Suckers is gone.
Just see there, Matty Suckling, who said,
That's not what I was thinking. It's what I'm thinking if I'm watching it, yes, fair enough. But at the time, I would have been a bit disheartened. But this is the thing, like I was saying before, you just know with Hawthorn and Geelong games that there's every chance you can work your way back into it. And I mean, after the 2013 prelim, you kind of feel like, well, all bets are off. The curse is done. Anything can happen here, and we're capable of clawing our way
Look
back
at this
into it.
movement. This is just garbage from Hawthorn. Thank goodness they flooded back. There's no one ahead of that ball now. Yeah, I thought so. It just... Yeah, well, there's 10 seconds left. So 31 points at the main break. Something has to change. And Geelong would be feeling very, very confident here.
They've chipped away at Hawthorn. They've managed to break open the game to the tune of 31 points. And Hawthorn just do not look likely. They're not convincing in any forward movement. No forward thrust there. So we'll see what happens in the second half.
Exactly what it is. We do know that Shane Kirsten is the sub for Geelong, the man who was subbed out. His hamstring tightness, so they wanted to get him off. Matty Suckling, I'll try and find...
So have we used our sub yet?
I'm not sure, actually. I'm sure it'll come up on the screen. Suckling was looking a bit ginger going around the boundary line, so perhaps we have at this point. And
Starting
Johnny-
with Shields, Langford and Sewell in the centre there, which is interesting.
Keep an eye on if Johnny
Oh.
Simpkin has made his way onto the ground.
That's a poor effort by Gunners to be behind Lonergan there. Got to be in front of the man. Oh, nicely done. Out to Hodge. Let's look at the pass. Oh, yes. Gunston. No real space. No movement.
No, this
Where's
is
the lead? Oh,
Tell you what, there's a fair few
every-
Geelong players just guarding space. They were so disciplined to just get back right into their positions.
yeah. So what I noticed about this at the time. You're only as good as your opposition here. So if they allow us to be better, and you can see one of the first errors there. Well done,
Oh,
Langers.
Langers.
It's a very sort of, what's the word? It's not a beautiful thing to watch, but the concerted effort of Langers is awesome. So Spanger's moved into the back line, has he now? You can see Simpkin in the foreground there wearing the 32, so the sub has been made.
Well, I don't care where Spanger's
Whoa.
playing. You need to show Spanger some respect or he'll carve you up.
Oh, that's a high tackle. Come on, Poppy.
Hey.
You tell him how to kick it, Will.
Poppy with a shot at redemption here. What's he going to do with it?
I hate it when you know the ending.
I just happen to know what his scoreline is by the final siren, so I just have an inkling about where this ball's going to go. Mind you, not the easiest of set shots.
Ooh, not bad.
Yeah,
That's
not a
our
bad effort.
first shot since the 5-minute mark of the second quarter, though. So it's a long time between drinks.
Set up quite well here.
Is that on Hale's head? Yeah,
Yep,
beautiful.
that is the last place they wanted to put it.
Who's there? Oh, God, it went back into the centre and they still got it, which is exactly where we should be.
A bit of a trash compactor press in on Geelong there. We just close in on them as they were trying to run it straight out of defence. And we have got them shackled up very nicely.
We do look like we need Cyril, don't we? There's a lack of silk up there.
It's a lack of X factor, the kind of thing that just turns nothing into something.
God, there's some really bad choices here. That handball from Gibbo when he should have just kicked it back into the forward 50.
Yeah.
No. They're looking stressed and under pressure when they've got the ball and they're in space. It's that perceived pressure that we hate to talk about, Nick.
It's a real thing.
You can see the momentum's changing a bit, though. Geelong are starting to miss their targets.
Just got to keep working. Just got to keep working here.
It really frustrates me how Geelong always seem to have a spare man just at the back of the contest, just hanging around.
I feel like Hawthorn tend to do that too, though.
Yeah, but
Hill just doing whatever he likes there.
Let's see the... Yep, well done. Oh, what are you doing, Simpkin? He flinched then, Simo.
Yeah. Against his old mob.
There he gets it again. Makes amends. Oh, this is a good chance. Well played. Oh, how's that not a... Good. Well done, Poppy. Oh, well, he can't miss this, Nick.
Ah, you'd think so.
It's about this point as a Hawthorn supporter, you just... Well, it's not our night, you know?
Yeah. There's nothing at this point in time. That is a terrible miss. But there's nothing at this point in time to really convince you the other way, to think that we're going to somehow get back into it. I'll concede that.
That's 2 misses now.
Yep.
To Poppy from very kickable shots.
I'll amend that stat. He's had three goes at it because he had one at the other end. And that's what he'll finish on. He'll finish on 0-3 for the match, unfortunately.
No, he didn't hit the scoreboard the first time.
Oh, that's right. Okay, well, there you go. Something to look forward to. Yes. You're quite right. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Basically owned all of the footy in this quarter.
We've got a Hale up there trying to force the contest. Oh, that's a good Oh, it's a bit better.
All right,
That's three misses in a row now.
Yeah, 3 consecutive looks at the goal, which is far better than how we were travelling. So there's reason
Geelong aren't
starting
getting
to build towards some sort of optimism here.
Yeah, but Geelong aren't getting it through us, you see. They're now taking real risks to try and move the ball. There's Spanger getting to the contest ahead of Bartel there. Oh, Spang!
Nice Langers.
Have a shot, mate. Oh, that is so close. Ooh, that would have brought the house down.
Oh, Hawthorn fans always fanging for a Spanger goal.
Oh, see, that's a great attack by Geelong, just straight up the guts there.
Yeah.
Spanger, you got to control it a bit better than that, Spang.
Still, we'll chalk that up as a draw against Bartel.
Great running from Hilly there.
Yep.
That's excellent vision from Burgers. Across the ground. Oh, mate, Selwood looked like a rag doll.
Yep, just stronger in the contest than Selwood. And
Beautiful.
he gets it back, and here we go.
Lovely pass from Mitch.
Get it to Segs. Go over the top and reel this in. Thank you very much. That's play on.
How many games is Segler on?
Can't be
This
many.
is his 14th game.
Jeez. Go through him, Hodgie.
Hodgie looks like he lacks a bit of acceleration off the first step, doesn't he?
No killer instincts there. Really wanted
this
to
will be
just...
good. Mitchell chasing Motlop. Oh, he put enough pressure on for Motlop to fuck it up. I mean, stuff it up.
Putting a bit more work for me there, Tizz.
Oh, Hawkins. How is that not holding the ball? He made no attempt. Yeah. He wants a free kick for that. Yeah. Great play by Duncan to give it to Lewis there under pressure. Was the umpire watching? Yeah, oh good, he found his whistle. It's
yeah, let that one go.
Lakey's just trying to get in his head at this point, isn't he? Oh, God. Hey, over the back. Another one from the goal square for Tomahawk.
I mean, that's he's kicked 3, and he hasn't been really challenged in terms of kicking accuracy from any more than 15 metres out at this point.
Fortunately, that's their only goal of the quarter. From here on, it is just a cakewalk, as the Collingwood supporters would say.
There you go, Hawks fans. Strap in. We're about to see ourselves an avalanche of goals here.
We've got to try and work out just why Geelong completely capitulate at this point.
And not only this
look
quarter,
like they've got us on toast.
Hawthorn do go on with it, which is impressive. So we'll try and unpack just why this occurs.
So Segler's in the ruck.
Oh, that'll do it. Segler in the ruck, that's the key. Segler in the ruck, forget about it. That's the game changer, don't you reckon, Tizz?
Well, I've noticed that Langford's gone to Selwood now.
Completely ignored.
Oh, Segler's far too young at this point. I don't even think he wins that many taps.
I'm just teasing, being silly. Well, here we go. Got a bit of run at least. Got something happening.
Oh, yeah. 2-on-1 on the wing. Bruce does well there to force the contest, but still 5-on-2 there. So, ooh. Come on, Clarko. At this point, they can just play. Good mark. Oh, there's Hartman. Oh, great.
Jeez,
Great
that's a free
smother
against
by
Hodge,
Hodgie
isn't
there.
it? That is a dead set free against Hodge for hanging on.
Come on, Lakey. Jeez, he looks slow. Oh,
Look, Motlop being useless. What a surprise.
he's just trying to do too much again. Is that not a free kick to Burgoyne? Yeah,
I would
good.
think so. Thank you very much for that.
All right. Yeah, now they can play counter-attack, the Cats, but they're too arrogant. You can see they're quite high on the press. There's a lot of space in behind them here.
Somehow
Look
that
what
manages
happens.
to come off. And Lewis breaking away.
Oh. Now, I remember thinking he'd miss this when I was sitting in the crowd, but he did kick it.
Mate, I can watch it right now, and I still think he's going to miss.
It's not the most convincing kick, is it?
No. Good set shot, though. Very potent forward, Hale.
I just meant that kick. In general, he's a lovely kick for goal.
Yeah, that kick was nothing to write home about. But
What are they trying to show us here? Oh, the Hodgie smother.
no, they're trying to show an incident off the ball.
Are they?
Yep,
Oh, where they hit Lewis behind the ball.
yeah.
Guess who that dirty bastard was?
You have to
Dirty
narrow it
bastard
down.
Bartel. It is. It's Bartel. You watch.
No,
He comes off
is
the
it?
line
No,
of the
it
ball
is.
just to hit him. And in the commentary, I remember they say, oh, there's nothing in that. That's an accident. What a whole lot of...
How the hell is that an accident?
Yeah. Ridiculous.
God. Oh, well, they'll be singing our praises soon enough, Tizz.
Yeah. Come on,
'Cause
Segs.
it has
they can
officially
do it
begun.
again. Good tackle.
The margin cut to 27 points, and it's all Hawthorn from here for the rest of the quarter, so they'll have no choice but to sing our praises.
So what we need to do really is start getting the ball on the outside. Because when you get the ball on the outside, you have the ability and the time and space to be able to use it well. It's a good get by Shields. He's had some very important kicks. Look at that kick.
How's that? How's that for hitting up Lewis? That is just precision.
He's already had a sighter today. First shot of the game. I do like that back-to-back shirt he's wearing, don't you?
It's a good Guernsey. The back of their Guernseys kind of throw me a bit. I'm used to seeing the stripes.
That's a beautiful kick. Ugh.
That takes the cake for my chief highlight of this commentary track so far.
The highlight is next. The next goal to Hawthorn is divine.
They've deliberately got OPSM to sponsor the umpires, right? Like they knew what they were doing.
It's a terrific sponsorship, I think.
Yeah. They could have got anyone, but they deliberately went. Yeah, it's a great piece of marketing.
Gee, that was kamikaze from Simpkin. That's much better.
It's the kind of commitment to the contest that you need. It's very good.
Jeez, they got some space, haven't they? Look at that.
On the wing there if they want to, but no.
I haven't got Stevie J in this lineup, but I can't help but feel he would have carved us up a little bit better than some of these boys have. Ooh. Nice spoil on Lake there from Segs.
A tough guy, Hawkins. There's another tough bloke.
Where is Bartel? Oh, he's standing in the foreground with Spanger manning him.
Just outside the 50.
He's got a few credits in the bank too, Jimmy.
So with Hawkins up at the contest, Blake has some interesting decisions to make, doesn't he? It's good play by Hawkins, really, to get him out of that. Worked for him earlier when he got that play ran into the goal.
Hmm.
What have you thought of Sewell?
It's not in his best form on this particular evening. His disposal's been a bit iffy.
Sets them up for the last quarter, the Hawks. Most of their games end in under 2 goal marks.
Gee, that's good anticipation from Hodge, isn't it?
Yeah, he was very quick off the mark to anticipate that. Very good.
Sometimes you have to go after the siren.
And here we have the problem again of trying to negotiate this.
We've got to be a little
zone.
bit more patient, you see. They've got some very nice high mark. That's a lovely kick from Simpkin into the centre.
Bullet
And then
pass.
straight up the line.
Give them something there as well.
Still,
Varco picked it up.
bloody good punch by the Geelong defender, so it didn't go to us.
Fu sort of stole
Is that a throw?
then, but
Who's that a free kick to? Oh, incredible.
starting to roll at the moment.
You have to
Who's
wonder,
that?
don't you?
Simpkin
Mitchell.
demanding the football.
Football
Come on, we need a moment.
from the side. Got clean hands on it.
Come on. Oh, lovely. Don't argue from Smithy.
It got him quite
Don't
high.
see that often.
I see nothing illegal about it.
That was fine. He got him across the chest.
Three in there.
Oh, terrible play, Rivers.
And here it is. It begins.
Jeez. He should never have cut his hair. It's the difference.
His power was in his hair.
Look at that. It's just attack on the football that won him that free, isn't it?
Yeah. Desperation at the contest.
Now, I want you to have a look at this, Nick, because this is a beautiful kick. This is straight through the high diddle-diddle. Look at that.
It's not quite. I've seen better kicks this game.
As straight as you like.
Oh, High Viz Man loves it.
Straight off. He's a real forward, that boy. Straight to the bench.
It was good enough. He got it home, Langford.
He needed his GPS put back in his jumper.
They needed a replacement. He burnt the other one out.
All right, well,
so-
we've evened it up. 6 misses and 6 goals. It's looking little bit better. The Cats have 9-3, so that's 12 shots each.
And that kid on the dad's shoulders has only known Hawthorn's success. But yeah, look at his age.
Punch. Oh. Spanger looks better in defence, doesn't he? Oh,
Yeah, funny
wow.
that.
Now, you're talking about deliberate.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
No.
would have been king for sure today.
And away he goes.
Back of his pocket, no. That is the GPS unit, Richo, that almost every player in the AFL now has on them that tracks
Oh, yeah.
every bit of their movement.
Lewis still getting away with that at this point in time.
Somehow that's fallen out of the pocket behind the neck, hasn't it?
Ooh.
He's carrying his own mobile out there.
The third man up.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, Hodgie, what are you doing? He's just having a shocker, Hodgie.
Yeah, not his best.
Now he's losing it. Whoa, yeah, tell him about it. That's a good
Whoa.
idea. Very frustrated. I reckon. Yeah. Oh, that was
Really,
clever by
Tizz?
Hartman, wasn't it?
I guess so. There wasn't much in it.
He did connect his head to Hodgie's knee.
It's hard to when you know that you haven't infringed. Explained it, but it wasn't the right explanation.
This is the best kick of the night for me.
Hartman from about 30
There it is.
Oh boy, just remember on the GPS, I remember a training session once at Richmond, a player was doing a running session and couldn't be bothered, so we went and jumped in his car and did a few laps up and down Punt Road just to get the GPS numbers.
Go, Smithy.
Swapped them over, Richo. Have you ever?
Hell of an ask.
Mates, yeah, Aussies like
Well done.
Yeah, not bad
Oh.
from Hilly. Cruel bounce. Too high for him in the end.
the big fella, he couldn't be bothered with it.
Caddy's been very good for the Cats this evening. Surprised they let him go on these efforts.
Couple of nervous coaches. Hawthorn would like to break the cycle of outs. in these
He's just a
games.
bit lazy in the contest, Caddy, I suppose.
Some mental stability when they
Which is something Richmond never demanded of him. Now,
backs away from attack. He goes inside with his
oh,
right foot. Shields has got space and time.
Birchall, long. Oh, great. Oh, what? How is that not a free, Nick?
Yeah, didn't like the look of that.
Mackie wasn't even looking at the ball.
Now Enright. Motlop and Caddy all combining here out of defence.
Get there. Well done.
He's in the air.
Classic strats.
Players surrounding.
Pick the target.
To Birchall again.
Ooh. No, he can't kick that far.
Too far out, I think. Hills lurking over the back. Gives it again to the left foot.
Beautiful pass.
This is better. Now Bruce.
They're booing him, Nick. What's going on?
I'm pretty sure on this replay, as with most of the era, you can hear the Hawk headquarters faithful in M10. Whenever Bruce slots one, Bruce, there it is, rings out. And it was a thing that ended up catching on, which is good.
A fair bit of time left on the clock.
A difficult kick.
Yeah, not the easiest.
Oh, look at the bend.
I mean, this is Luke Bruce in his prime. Mind you, he still travels well today, but there was a point in time where his accuracy was just lethal.
That's quite nice there. Only 9 points back in the game. But at this point, you're just waiting for Geelong to press again, aren't you?
Well, you know
Just,
by now as a Hawthorn fan not to write them off. No game against Geelong is in the books completely.
Where's
gotta
Ruff, by the way?
Yeah, where is Ruff?
Been
So-
doing stuff all over the ground. Where have they deployed him now?
With your analytical prowess...
There he is, in the centre. Look at that.
Well, it's worked. With your,
Simpkins had a few kicks.
with your
go
analytical
on.
prowess, Tizz, what would you say has changed here exactly?
We're getting the ball on the outside, Nick. And have you noticed that there is no Selwood?
No, what's up with that? Well, there he is there. So
Hey.
he's definitely out on the ground. He's suck it up.
He's out on the ground.
Perseverance for the whole quarter. Just chipped away. And Mitchell
Sammy got the distance.
I'm not sure if he's got the legs for this, is he?
I don't think so either.
A couple of weeks ago, B2 is almost unheard of. What will he do here? I think his reasoning was that the tendon injury.
He's taking his time.
See what he's feeling like at the moment.
He's looking like
Come on, Mitch.
looking left, isn't
Be hitting it with his left or with his nose, going with his right. Oh, that looked like it got over the line.
Yep, and when they go to the score review, it'll also look like it got over the line. Everyone will think it's a goal. Everyone in the stadium will think it's a goal.
Oh, I forgot about this.
There's a reason you forgot about it, mate. This is it's not worth thinking about. It makes us too angry.
Yeah, I can.
Now from that angle, that's a goal.
You notice that the camera isn't actually level with the bloody line for a start. Anyway,
Now, what is interesting about this is that we know that there's an umpire cam. We just saw it.
I reckon it's the other way.
But we only go to the one angle. Even though the umpire is in a pretty good position, you'd have to say. I know it's not getting the line in shot.
oh,
I know the umpire cam is not
see,
getting the line in
this
shot.
is
but you get the
garbage. And
post in shot.
you know, what are we? 6 years on, the AFL still hasn't prevented that kind of crap from occurring.
No, that'll still happen these days.
Look at how high Gibbo got then. Gee, Simpkins been good since he came on.
Yeah, he's been handy. He was
Hit
doing
him.
doing a lot more than Suckers was doing. I must admit, I might have
Different roles.
I might have had a bit of a go at Suckers before
Oh,
without realising he was sucked
come on,
off.
Hale. Oh, what a mark.
Great mark, Val. Great to pull it down. He tracked it perfectly in the
That's-
air. Oh, here we go. Here's the
bravery from
umpire
Hale.
cam. And, oh, look, that was the angle that showed you that it was a goal. Funny that.
Even this one looks like it's a goal.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm being lenient towards them. Yeah, what I was saying before is I didn't realise Suckers got subbed off so early. So my critique of his 6-possession game was probably a bit rough. But Simpkin has been good so far.
Bang.
Pretty
Yeah, he came
academic
into the
for
game
Hale.
with a knock too, Suckers. But he's back for the grand final as the sub.
Hawks fans up and about now. With 2 minutes 14 left, we're threatening to hit the
Doesn't
front
look
all of
like
a
there's
sudden.
any more time for another goal here, you know.
I just don't know
Have
where
to
it
be-
could come from.
Have to be something mercurial.
By someone mercurial.
I mean, the boys are thinking they're a chance now. You know, what Geelong have arrogantly decided not to bother attacking in this quarter, putting their head over the ball. They've really stopped. Their contested possessions are way down. You can
Yeah.
see Mitchell is. Yeah, look at that.
Hawthorn more
How
desperate.
good is Ruffy? How good is Ruffy in that centre? Come on. Expose this. Yeah. See how they and another bloke out the back. Yeah. It's a beautiful kick. Ruffy makes Duncan earn it. They've really compacted the playing area down to the wings now, haven't they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an awful kick. Oh, that's an awful drop. Oh,
Lame.
garbage. When's he retiring, Nick? That'll be a good day. Oh, yeah.
See you later.
And in the back?
No, it's freaking to
Oh.
us.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
A little bit worried all the time.
How good is that little redemptive arc for Silk that lasted all of about 20
Lovely.
seconds?
Lovely. Look at the space. They're starting to stop running, Nick.
Oh, yeah.
What? That is exceptional skill from Hodge to be able to take that, isn't it?
Hawthorn with
And
more
the
energy,
pass.
more desperation, more precision.
I'm really noticing Birchall, his left foot kicks.
Yeah.
The just how composed he was whenever he got it. Up! Oh, that is ridiculous.
I mean, he's
He goes to Selwood and kicks 2 1/4. This is a phenomenon beginning.
He's the last person you suspect to be the one to fly for that ball. And so I think Geelong think that too. So he's just given a clean
watch him
run
take
of
it, Selwood. Watch him take it,
I
mate.
was just about to say, Selwood just watching on. It's like, that's your man, mate. You got to fill that hole. You got to stop that run. But he just
All right,
doesn't. He
now
lets
look,
it happen.
Look at the glory of this kick. Oh,
Look at
my
the swing.
word.
I think surely that's the kick you wanted to celebrate, Tizz. That is an awesome kick.
The double cobra.
Double Cobra goes up and Langford's fired up. The team's fired up, going to 3/4 time. Suddenly they're in front by 4 points and they ain't done yet. And as we come back from the 3/4 time break, it's Hawthorn with a 4-point lead over Geelong. And fair to say, Tizz, that Geelong would be shell-shocked, or is this mission accomplished, according to Chris Scott?
Well, I think you can see it on Roughhead's face there. 2 thumbs up. It's all good to go from here. Oh, that's holding the ball, surely. At least we got the takeaway. Wasn't Birchall's kicking fantastic? Look at the distance he got on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I thought he was through then again, Langers.
Yeah, he thought he was going to sneak one through.
Yeah, just settle, Langers. That's the way.
You've had your moments, son. Don't try and do too much.
I mean, we know the result, but these boys would still be on edge. Geelong would surely be gunning for them. So, a little bit of space. Simpkin. That's a wonderful goal, and he's been fantastic tonight, Liam Shields.
He has been, yeah.
A couple of brilliant passes. You don't really notice that about his game because you think of him as a tackler and a stopper, but yeah, his disposals by foot this evening really a shining light out there.
Well, people don't typically notice him much at all. So
That's what happens when your errors aren't obvious and far between.
very dependable member of Hawthorn's side for a long time now.
What about this from the Hawks? 7 goals in
See that? We had 4 around the ball there. A total reversal from the start of the game.
Look at that, the goals in a row. We've just piled them on.
McIntosh is out of the ruck now. What's going on?
Shields only needed a split second to make that happen. That was what was impressive about that.
They just got in front on the contested possessions. You win it first, get it into your forward line.
Here we go again, another forward entry.
Burgoyne unloads long.
Oh, look at Puopolo. The acceleration.
Come on. Jeez. That was the throw.
See the disparity in the contested possessions between our quarters. You can see the second quarter we did absolutely drop off, but
it's just the basics.
Jeez, he was lucky to get a boot to that ball, wasn't he?
oh yeah.
Another
Puopolo's
hole in
still
the ball
going.
decision.
Yep. Shields wants it.
Oh,
No
held
good.
in.
Sudden they've got a structure and you think Geelong aren't going to get through. Brian Lake standing back in the centre square. He's going to move.
Langer's looking dangerous. Oh, he almost came away with it.
Selwood seems to refuse to get involved here.
Oh, Bruce. Ooh.
The pressure's really on. They got no out now.
Yeah.
And there it is. Is that... who was that running up the ground then?
I'm not sure, but it'll be the next kick that worries them if Brad Hill doesn't get him first. Oh, there you go.
Ooh. So they haven't changed their game at all, Geelong. They're still aiming to run through with handballs, and this is where they find trouble from now on. That's good from Shields. Look at that.
Yeah.
Hit your head over the ball. Geez, Hodgie had a dog of a night to my mind.
Yeah, not one of his better performances. That was good, though. You can see through that act of desperation, he's pretty keen to actually get involved at this point. He hasn't done much so far.
Well, he's captain. I think he was carrying an injury. That's why he was forward.
Yeah, you might be right.
Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, you nearly had it, Tommy. Yeah.
It's a complete non-factor in that contest. All right, pay the free. No, you let that one go? Okay, sure,
Just
why
more
not?
hot air from the umpire. He's already clocked him in the chin, hasn't he?
Might have, yeah. Oh, Langers again. Another beautiful takeaway. Well, maybe not so beautiful.
Yeah. Ooh. There we go with the mark. And you can see now they've stopped running. And this is what we were talking about earlier with their fitness. There were question marks all year over their fitness due to their lack of scoring after half-time.
If I could quote the 2008 Grand Final, Geelong looking like they're running out of ideas by the look of it.
Oh, Gunners.
Right when Dew is on his rampage.
Gee, we're giving them the corridor here.
No, not yet. Birch need to push it across there. Put the clamps on. Nah, no good.
Yeah, he really landed on Gunston, did Lonergan. So he's feeling that a bit. Here it is.
Chopping the arms.
That's just good defensive play.
Nah, it's chopping the arms, mate.
Jeez, he takes a long time, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Come on, hurry up and miss. Oh, it's a good... Oh,
No,
shame.
faded. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's not so easy now, is it? From 50 metres out.
It's so funny. His baby face just looks so distraught when he does anything wrong. Very like Matthew Richardson in the way his
a little bit.
demeanour, except it's directed at the opponents in his case.
It's a nice little run from Smithy there. Shame
Jeez.
about the polish on the kick.
Pick it up. Smithy kept running.
Yep.
They got an option. Who's there?
Segler.
One big fella. Oh. Terrible marking by Geelong. He's 20 metres out directly in front, no one on him. Well done, Scotty.
He's a big fella too. He's a little hard to miss. He's not going to sneak
Just
under your radar.
Ghosts in at the back.
Yep. Jeez, you got Hale lurking there as well.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether McIntosh didn't go with Segler or whether just rotating through Blythe and they consider Hale a bigger threat.
So Hawthorn just going on with it here, which is pretty impressive. How many consecutive goals is this now? It'd be, what, like 7?
He's very athletic, he covers the ground so well, and he can take a mark. He goes back and finishes, that's a bonus. Ruckman getting forward, kicking goals.
How are you rating Segler at this point in time? If you can cast your mind back, this is something like, I think you said it's his 14th game. What do you make of him at this point?
Oh, well, he's only in the lineup because McAvoy was pretty bad the previous week. He eventually makes way for McAvoy, but he has a great run pretty much during the final series. They just wanted a more dependable body, and McAvoy had already missed on a grand final with St Kilda earlier in his career. I think he did play in one of the losing ones, though. So, yeah, he was, as you would be, you'd be very, very angry and annoyed.
Spanger, third man up, was great. Off hands. Hawkins didn't connect well with the boot. And just got it off the top edge. But he was lurking dangerously. Hawthorn crowd here tonight, obviously with their home game. Only 68,000 members.
Oh, God, what was that? All right. Hodgie's having a bit of impact now. Cool head. Everyone looks a bit stuffed here.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they might be a bit stuck, but it's good to find Spanger.
There's
That's
a
a pretty good
launch.
kick. There's
Who's
a
there?
very good kick, Segler.
Oh, lovely.
He's got good hands, hasn't he? Sticky hands, Richo. Now rough head. Taylor did beautifully.
Oh, well done, Taylor.
Just can't take Harry Taylor seriously after the 08 grand final.
Here's Mitch Duncan. Wide to Guthrie. Ground level
Come on, get back, Hawkers.
in the end. Not so Murdoch.
Look at them come through the middle again. Oh,
With enough
good.
speed.
Well done. They shut them down. Hands. No.
Oh, who's on?
Oh, Hodgie,
geez,
what
now
are you
what?
doing? Oh.
Go down the middle.
Now we decide to go up the middle. That's not our game. Yeah, that's better, Hale.
There was nothing on in the corridor anyway. They had no
Well,
choice.
see, they've got to take risks now, so we can be prepared to hold the ball up, play for a bit of time. Who's still going to? Yeah,
I was going to say,
across
look
the
out
ground.
wide. You got two options out there. If the kick's good, and there we go. Broken it up.
Beautiful Chinese checker stuff here.
It
Oh,
really
and a
is.
long kick forward. Anyone on him? Oh, that's ridiculous.
I mean, you can see what Hawthorn were trying to do. They absolutely did want to switch it to open something up. But it's not as if Geelong didn't have time. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't that quick a ball movement for them to not mark a guy who's in the running for the
McIntosh
Coleman.
again.
Yeah,
McIntosh
McIntosh
again.
again. Just, you'd reckon you'd mark someone who's shooting for the Coleman? That's Just a thought that I had.
Well, he's stuck between Segler and Roughhead. Who does he go to, you know?
Yeah, again, probably not the 14 gamer.
Well, that's it. It's all over. That's 21 points with 11 minutes to go. We're done, right? You relaxed at this point, didn't you, Nick?
Nah, never relax. Never relax at the MCG against Geelong. No. Every time we front up to this mob, I'm like, I know how this story tends to go sometimes.
So it's up to Chris. It's up to Chris Scott to make a change. So let's see what he does. Does he put Christensen on the ball there in a defensive role on Shields? Because he was nowhere near him.
I was going to say, it didn't matter.
Oh, look, this looks good. Oh. That's
Well done,
a
Langers.
terrific palm away, isn't it? Look who's there again. Shields. Oh, come on!
Oh.
Gee.
He hooked it
That would've
at
been a
right
great
angles. It's actually impressive what ended up happening. That's pretty hard to do, even though he didn't mean it.
Yep, standing still, give it to him. Beautiful.
They have stopped Geelong.
Players! Oh, wonderful.
And pats from the big rough for a job well done.
Do you reckon the director's just trying to get Langers and Selwood in the same shot there?
Geez, where is Selwood? He's not in that frame.
He was behind having a look before.
That is just a great game, isn't it? 20 touches, 12 contested, 2 goals. And will this be number 3?
Well,
You betcha. No? No, it's faded. Damn it. I thought it was headed that way.
he never changed his kicking action.
That's Will Langford making me look like a damn fool.
Jeez. How did they get that?
Yeah, just thinking that myself.
Oh, that's an excellent mark.
Reminded me of Hale in the previous quarter, just tracking the ball very nicely in the air.
Now got enough space, you see, to move it round. They're not marking the man very well. Often they just mark the man by about 2 metres to let you think you have the option, and then they closed it down. Oh, Simpkin, come on, mate. Well played. Kept it in front of himself.
Oh, that's silky smooth by Lewis.
Oh,
and Langers
how did
to come
he
up
do
with
that?
it. How did he manage that?
Oh, great play. Yep.
Just,
Well done, McIntosh.
if we rewind the tape there, I mean, you've got Simpkin, who isn't quite beaten. Lewis manages to get through, and then you got Langford, who breaks through as well, and you get it to Hale. I mean, Hawthorn just could not be denied in that passage of play.
But he gets tackled to ground. They don't keep the tackle on him, and it's a lovely little chip from Sewell. Sewell was unlucky not to go back to back.
Yeah, that's true. Jeez, you got Hale and Roughhead and Segler just wreaking havoc against Geelong this quarter.
Yeah, all just bobbing up at the right moment.
Pretty easily as well. They're not bringing down massive contested grabs. I mean, well, Segler was challenged, I guess, but not in the way... It wasn't a big pack, is what I mean.
What did that mean? I'm staying forward? Is that what that meant?
Well, he's got 3 goals, Hale, so you couldn't blame him for wanting to stay forward. It's probably in the best interest of the team at this point.
You just wonder what is going through Clarko's mind now. He's got Collingwood next week. Turns out being an easy victory, but does he go and put Hodgie and Mitchell in cotton wool? Where is Mitchell? I haven't seen him for a while.
I haven't seen Mitchell for a while, but I can tell you Hodge was in that centre bounce. So
There he is, right on cue. Look at that.
I love it. The avalanche of goals on screen. That's a wonderful sight.
Our coach would never say mission accomplished.
No, and that's the one thing that I think... It's the thing that I keep on thinking about whenever I see a Chris Scott press conference, and that is...
What goes through your mind to bring that up?
Well, not even that, just like... it's the point that you have effectively made. It's I could never hear Clarkson saying the things that Chris Scott says. And I'm not just talking about the mission accomplished thing. A lot of press conferences of Chris Scott's I've seen, whether it's against Hawthorn or not, I just can't even fathom behaving in that way, or Clarkson behaving in that way, sorry.
Here he is. Didn't play too well, but he's led well, especially up forward. He goes back behind the ball.
He'll come in handy in a few weeks' time after this.
Yeah, but famously in his in what is a milestone game. I mean, it's just a freak thing to have your 250th in a grand final and you take the Norm Smith. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's a shocker. How did that come off? Jeez, they did well to smother that kick, didn't they, Nick? Anyway,
yeah, that's what happened. He's still very loose on Langford at this point as well.
Yeah, no respect.
No respect in that stoppage.
Oh,
almost something
you
out
only,
of nothing from
you only
Smithy.
kick those in. You only kick those in grand final, Smithy. Come on.
Smith's goals in the 2015 grand final.
He's got one in every grand final, doesn't he?
Oh, what was his one in 2014? Did he kick one?
Doesn't he kick one from the boundary?
No, you think in 2015.
Oh, that's the one where he high fives.
Yeah.
The Weagles supporter. I'm pretty sure he kicks a lovely goal in 2014.
Oh, you might be right. I mean, we just had so many Tizz. It's hard to keep track. But, look, there's the man on our screen again. Now, Smithy's two, I think he kicks three. He kicks 3 goals in the 2015 grand final, but 2 of them, one from distance on the boundary, and the other one's that arsey goal where he gives the high five.
Yeah.
Both are absolutely insane goals, and I know we talk about these grand finals a lot, so do a lot of other Hawks supporters. I don't think those goals get their due at all, because you've got Hodge who steals the show.
And Langers in 2014.
Yeah, of course, yes.
10 unanswered. So at least breaks that record. 6 minutes 30. A lot of scoring still to be done, you would think, in this game, but a fair way back from here.
So let's have a look at the attitude of the Geelong players now. Oh. Looking a little bit downcast. Mind you, the cheer squad's up and about. That's good to see.
Right, and there's the ladder. The live ladder. We move into second.
Really good percentage.
Leapfrogged them.
Enough time here, 6.5 minutes.
That's holding the ball.
Of course, that'll be setting up the qualifying final match. The first week of the finals.
Yep. We both know that's what's going to happen now. And so it's...
Mitchell leading all possession getters tonight
No.
for Hawthorn. Duncan for Geelong.
Wow. You have no idea what's happening to your body when that happens to you either. You lose control of where you are. Terrible feeling. All right, who's there? Where's Lakey? Oh, Harry Taylor. Jeez. God, he's reaching for the bottom of the barrel, Chris Scott.
I was going to say, his one manoeuvre when things get bad. Oh, sorry, no, he has 2 these days, and that's to put Dangerfield forward.
Oh, I couldn't believe that worked. Anyway.
Oh, look, we're not the only club to go down to it.
Come on, Harry. Let's see your awkward kicking style.
And Richmond do it every week. They play Dusty forward to good effect. He can change a game quite easily.
Think of Michael Osborne.
Whoops. Some indecision from Taylor. Whoops. Piss off, you prick. Geelong adding a little bit of respectability to the scoreline, but it's not going to matter, obviously.
Yeah, come on, talk him up. Talk him up. Get him all fired up, Harry.
We need to talk about the ham sandwich or the piece of ham incident. Do you know what happened there?
I forget the Adelaide player, but he got food poisoning from a ham sandwich or something,
It's
didn't he?
Josh Jenkins.
Oh, it's Josh Jenkins, who's now at Geelong.
Yeah, that's right. So they can all have a laugh about it now, like it's the most hysterical thing in the world anyway. But Harry Taylor, knowing that Josh Jenkins had suffered from a bout of food poisoning from a piece of ham, he decided that it'd be just the most hilarious thing to slip a bit of ham into his socks when he played against Josh Jenkins next. Apparently he ran it past Dangerfield, who apparently said nothing, like an insane person.
Didn't critique it at all.
No, had no objections to this obviously funny and side-splitting idea of putting ham into the sock. That is, you should be committed for doing something like that. That is absolute lunacy. And frankly, I'm disgusted that people don't talk about it more.
You idiot.
That's how Tizz responds to being wished a happy Easter.
Yep.
And happy Easter to everyone out there, everyone who's stayed with us.
Speaking of different looks, that's Jack Gunston back there playing fullback at the moment, having a run on Tom Hawkins. It's an amazing trend that Alistair Clark.
We got another goal in this?
I'm not sure that we do. No,
look,
actually we do.
God,
We do
see
get
that?
one more.
Selwood got a touch then.
Jeez, yeah, he has fallen off the radar, hasn't he? I think we are good for one more goal, and that'll be it for us for the game.
Well, it's time for someone to stake their claim for a spot.
Yeah, that's what it's all about at this pointy end of the home and away season. I was thinking about that with Simpkin before.
Spanger's looked much better behind the ball. It's interesting, both Hodge and Spanger went back together.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, lovely tackle. Look at the crowd. Well done, Hawkers.
They're out for blood. They love it.
Before that, you could just see them all stand from the long shot. I love that. Over the back. Beautiful. There's 4 of you. Here's Segs. That is a damn good mark, isn't it?
Geelong have done okay here, but I reckon Segler's just going to go straight over the top of that man. Yep.
Who's at the back? Oh, that's Hilly. God, he does some running, doesn't he? Oh, look at that.
Slots it from nowhere to Sewell. Didn't need much of a look there.
Oh, look. I love it. All the Geelong supporters were leaving just now. Could have left a while ago, mate.
Now, whilst we have a break in the play, I should say, if people viewing, Hawks supporters, if you've enjoyed this, let us know at Hawk Talk Pod on Twitter, facebook.com/Hawk Talk Pod on Facebook.
Oh, look at the emotional Langers.
Langers loves it. Yeah, if you do want to get us doing a commentary track on another classic Hawthorn win, hit us up on the social media channels and let us know. Which, plenty of great wins, especially from this era. Not.
I love that. He just got a hand in there and took the arm. Oh, such a shame. Have you had a stat this quarter, Selwood?
So he's looking a bit frustrated, isn't he?
He's a good player, though. That's what makes it worthwhile, barracking against him.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That's the thing that gives him the most joy. I tell you, another guy who's gone completely invisible, Motlop.
Yes, yeah, well, he was a bit like that, a mercurial Motlop. It's been fun. I think we'll get better at this too, as it goes on.
Yeah, we haven't done anything like this before. I guess we tried to approach it like we're manning the special comments, the two of us. So we'll just take it at our leisure and, you know, just talk about whatever springs to mind. Oh, come on, that's play on. Yes, there you go.
Oh, lovely. You don't want to do it. We could do a call.
I don't think we're quite ready. I think anyone who's listened to this so far knows that we're so woefully unprepared for a call.
Oh.
It's good fun chucking a classic Hawks win on and reminiscing, because that's what we've got at the moment. That's what we're going to do until the season gets back. Oh, look at Chris Scott.
Beautiful.
There's
a gif.
The very same
fact
pose
that
he
he-
adopts in the press conference as well.
Oh, we're going to do a voiceover to that as well?
Oh, yeah. I think it'd just be constant interruptions.
Yeah, so this club, our club's flying at this point. 50-point win in the VFL earlier in the afternoon. A 50-point turnaround here.
Do you have any
no better
inkling?
feeling in the rooms.
Do you have any inkling at this point, as a supporter, Tizz, that we're headed for back-to-back?
Well, yeah, I actually had money on Rioli in the
Oh, did you?
in the first week of finals for Norm Smith.
Huh.
One
Jeez,
of
it
my
would have been a
greatest
nervous
bets.
wait for you.
One of my greatest bets.
Well,
No, I just heard that he'd be coming back, and then I saw the form that Box Hill were in. That's why it's important, because we needed Box Hill playing finals to get Rioli on the park.
that's right. yeah.
Otherwise, without that run, I don't think Clarko would have let him play. Oh, this is hugely advantageous to the result of the game and the viewing pleasure. Having a video review of this.
Oh, blow the siren, bloody hell. Well, what's the confusion here?
Whether it hit the behind post,
Okay, all right.
whether it's a behind or whether they need to throw it in. Umpire's call. How about that?
And that'll be the final score for the game. Margin at 23 points.
Half a minute remaining in this game.
Come on, Spang. Well done.
Not bad from Spanger there.
Just a little bit of revenge here. I'm sure they'll be very modest in victory, knowing that the real work is.
What are your final thoughts on this match, seeing as we're 10 seconds out from the end?
Well, it's just a flexing of the muscles from the Hawks players. I mean, if they ever were worried about whether they had it in them to go back-to-back, this game told them they did.
Against an old arch rival. The curse is
And,
dead at this point, and they've put them to the sword again.
And the fact that the greatest impetus came from Langford and a couple of the younger fellas, you know, Segler was integral to that. Just illustrated the desire was in not just the top players, but went deep into the list to go back-to-back.
Well, that'll be it for the round 22 clash between Hawthorn and Geelong at the MCG in 2014. As I said, if you'd like us to do this sort of thing for another classic Hawthorn match, you can hit us up at Twitter at HawkTalkPod or Facebook, facebook.com/HawkTalkPod. And Tizz, very happy Easter to you, mate. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, happy Easter, Nick. Hope there's lots of chocolate in your day.
Oh, no doubt. And if there isn't, I'll seek it out. I'll go to the servo. And a very happy Easter to all our listeners and viewers out there of the Hawk Talk podcast. We are a happy team at Hawthorn. We'll see you next time.
You know, it sounds funny to say, but it was a step forward in our preparation. We always went into the game wanting to play well. We certainly didn't put the cue in the rack, or not consciously, anyway, at half-time after a good performance. And we'll learn some things from tonight. So in that respect, it's kind of mission accomplished a little bit.
You talk too much.
Never shut up.
I said you talk too much.
Oh boy, you